said you have to stop yourself to lose weight? Who's telling me this is good and this is bad? Who said? Who cares? Meet Plenity, an FDA-cleared, clinically proven weight management aid for adults with a BMI of 25 to 40 when combined with diet and exercise. Plenity helps you feel fuller and eat less. It is a prescription-only treatment and is not for pregnant women or people allergic to its ingredients. Talk to your doctor or visit myplenity.com to learn more. I feel like everyone is leaning on you to do everything wrong. Maybe it's time to talk to someone. Thanks for saying that. I'm glad you scheduled some time. Teladoc, the right care when you need it most.
What this guy?
Just saddled with so much credit card debt right now.
We need an upgrade card. For all my monthly purchases into one easy installment loans, I can afford stuff like that.
Where do I sign up?
Get your upgrade card at upgrade.com.
Okay, everyone. Our mission is to provide complete balanced nutrition for strength and energy.
Ensure complete balanced nutrition with 27 vitamins and minerals. And Ensure complete with 30 grams of protein.
At Dog Chow, we believe helping dogs live their best life should be simple. That's why Dog Chow is made with real chicken and no fillers. Purina Dog Chow. Keep life simple. Does sinus congestion and pressure make breathing feel impossible, especially at night? Try Vicks Sinex. Unlike most sinus treatments, it provides instant relief that lasts up to 12 hours. Its powerful decongestant targets congestion at the source, with a dual-action formula that relieves nasal congestion and soothes sinus pressure by reducing swelling in the sinuses. For instant relief that lasts up to 12 hours, try Vicks Sinex. From Vicks, trusted relief for over 125 years.
Universal protection is something brain scientists have been working on for more than 60 years. That's why Ray brands protect more people from pests in more places. Ray, protection for everyone. Essie Johnson.
It's iconic. Discover my little party at charlottetilbury.com. Sherry Papini's Abduction premieres tonight on Reels.
It's January 1972, and TV audiences are introduced to Redd Foxx as Fred G. Sanford in Norman Lear's newest sitcom, Sanford and Son.
Sanford and Son was an instant sensation. It had tens of millions of people watching. Like All the Family, it became one of the biggest shows on television.
Redd Foxx goes from stand-up comic with a rated-R reputation to a household name. Within weeks of the show's debut, Fred Sanford was being hailed as a classic TV character among the ranks of Lucille Ball's Lucy Ricardo, Carol O'Connor's Archie Bunker, and Jackie Gleason's Ralph Cramden.
Redd Foxx was a real comedian on that show. Very funny.
Redd Foxx infused a lot of his own humor, a lot of the heart attack stuff was all Redd Fox. And he would take the scripts, he would infuse his comedy into it.
Sanford and Son is a landmark TV series in its depiction of African-American families on TV. Others will follow, like Good Times and The Jeffersons. But Sanford and Son has the distinction of being the first.
Sanford and Son came along at exactly the right time.
One of the things that was really critical about the success of Sanford and Son was that it came from a place of relatability for African Americans, but it also crossed over.
The show makes Redd Foxx a star with a salary to match. In 1972, he reportedly made $7,500 per episode. Fox put some of his riches into a second house in Las Vegas and a lot more into his worsening drug habit.
It was known to many who were on the set of Sanford and Son when they were in a boring table read that he would take a little sniff of cocaine every now and then just to pay attention.
When the first season of Sanford and Son ends, the ratings are remarkable for a mid-season replacement series.
After its first season, it was reported that they had over 16 million viewers. Now, today, network television would struggle to even get half of that audience.
In April 1972, Redd Foxx earns his first Emmy nomination for Best Actor in a Comedy Series. And Sanford and Son is also nominated as Best Comedy Series, along with All in the Family, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, and The Odd Couple.
He really wanted the significance of what he had actors. He insisted on Luana Page and other people he had come up with through the Chitlin circuit and beyond to be part of what was really a revolutionary TV show at the time.
In spring 1973, Fox starts to make noises in the press that he won't return for a third season unless he gets a big pay raise. The press attention gets the desired result, and Red Fox gets a pay hike to earn an estimated $10,000 per episode.
It was a negotiating tactic. It was probably something that he developed in the clubs. You don't show up unless somebody meets your demands, and as far as he was concerned, television was no different.
But by the time Red Fox shoots the third season of his show, the pressure of being a primetime star affects his marriage to Betty Jean. His old habits don't do much to help either.
Red Fox was very fond of spending money on extravagances like wine, women, and drugs.
There's reports that he won $45,000 while playing Keno, but I guarantee you that $45,000 was probably gone 2 hours later at the blackjack table.
On March 29th, 1974, Sanford and Son wraps its third season, and the fourth season is scheduled to begin a month later. But Red Fox is a no-show at rehearsals.
You cannot have Sanford and Son without Red Fox. And being irreplaceable brings power. And he capitalized on this. So he said to NBC, you know what? You either give me more money or I'm not working.
Fox is joined in solidarity in his contract dispute by his co-star Demond Wilson.
Well, if you want to go up against a powerful network in Hollywood, you're risking your career.
But Red Fox was a guy who wasn't afraid of risks.
But when Fox and Wilson fail to show up for the first day of shooting the season, producers Bud Yorkin and Norman Lear finally have enough and sue for breach of contract.
Tandem Productions, the production company run by Norman Lear and Bud Yorkin, sued Red Fox and co-star Demond Wilson for $10 million each.
York and Lear's lawyers representing Tandem Productions asked the court for an injunction.
They specifically asked the court to bar him from all public appearances and performing. If he couldn't work for Tandem Productions, he wasn't able to work at all.
Tandem wins the injunction, and the ruling forbids Red Fox from working without the company's permission.
And it ended up costing Red Fox $300,000 in income he could have made from comedy clubs and theater appearances.
To write Grady, his best friend character in Sanford and Son, into the Sanford home. And I think it was for something like half the season. Fred Sanford was not on his own show.
In the midst of Red Fox's contract dispute, he files for divorce from Betty Jean after nearly 18 years of marriage on the grounds of incompatibility.
During his divorce with Betty Jean, his attorney got a restraining order preventing Betty Jean from taking personal contents out of their homes and withdrawing money from bank accounts. Betty Jean had allegedly withdrawn $110,000 before the restraining order, and now she had to put it back.
According to Fox, Betty Jean had also gone out and bought a $10,000 Mercedes-Benz while he was out of town. Betty Jean in turn sues for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences.
But Betty Jean has no money because when Betty Jean and Red got married, Red mandated that she not work. She had no choice but to seek alimony and support. And so she was seeking $25,000 a month for spousal support and $150,000 for her attorney's fees.
Although he's newly divorced and unable to work, Red Fox won't be down for long.
Even though Red Fox fought hard in this litigation against Tandem Production and Tandem Productions won, they still gave him a huge raise.
But in the following decade, Fox's attempts to outfox the IRS will come back to bite him big time.
One day, they turn up at Red Fox's house in Las Vegas and take everything.
Is there a natural litter that actually works?
At Tiny Cats, litter prevention is come naturally. Naturally strong unscented with activated charcoal or scented clean lemongrass with plant extracts. 100% natural, 100% powerful. There's a Tiny Cats for that. Before discovering Nexium 24-hour to treat her frequent heartburn, Claire could only imagine enjoying chocolate cake. Now she can have her cake and eat it too. Nexium 24-hour stops acid before it starts for all day, all night protection. Can you imagine 24 hours without heartburn?
Universal protection is something great scientists have been working on for more than 60 years. That's why Raid brands protect more people from pests in more places. Raid, protection for everyone. Essie Johnson.
Pollo Asado. Starts with fresh grilled chicken, hand-cut cilantro, finished with fresh lime, guajillo peppers, and garlic. We make our new Pollo Asado light, flavorful, and uniquely Chipotle.
Life doesn't stop for diabetes. Be ready for every moment with Glucerna. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand that's scientifically designed to help manage your blood sugar. Live every moment. Glucerna. Vitafusion gummy vitamins. Where'd they get the fusion from? Maybe because it's a fusion of healthy vitamins and delicious fruit flavors? Fusion, like a karate door. It's probably the healthy, delicious thing. Vitafusion. Milk chocolate beyond words. Classic recipe by Lindt.
This is a hero walking his youngest down the aisle, which to his bladder feels like a mile. Yet he stands strong, dry, keeping the leaks only to his eyes. Depend. The only thing stronger than us is you.
Style. I got it from my mom. I got it from mine.
And I got it from mine. And they all got it from me.
It's Macy's Friends and Family with an extra 30% off the perfect gifts for mom. Now at Macy's.
So many people are overweight now and asking themselves, why can't I lose weight? For most, the reason is insulin resistance, and they don't even know they have it. Conventional starvation diets don't address insulin resistance. That's why they don't work. Now there's release from GOLO. It naturally helps reverse insulin resistance, stops sugar cravings, and releases stubborn fat, all while controlling stress and emotional eating. At last, a diet pill that actually works. Go to GOLO.com to get yours.
At Domino's, you can get more than just your favorite pizza. You can get specialty chicken, savory pastas, oven-baked Parmesan bread bites, molten lava crunch cakes, and yes, medium 2-topping pizzas as well. Carry out any 2 or more mix-and-match items for $5.99 each or get them delivered for $6.99 each.
When you bundle home and auto with Progressive, your home is a savings paradise. Bundles Progressive. Your home. Savings. Every new day offers opportunities to connect, chances to motivate and inspire, moments to express well-deserved thank yous and congratulations, with products that bring smiles, celebration, and long-lasting impressions. There's certainty in that. 4imprint gives you that certainty with the right promotional products and a caring, trusted team dedicated to your success. Creating meaningful connections starts at 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain. So I have peppers, tomatoes, parsley, salad. That's my product. It gets lots of sun, water. Can't I even sing to it every day? But it never grows. You need Credit Sesame. With Credit Sesame, you get your free score right away and see steps you can take to improve it. Daily score refreshes help track your progress, and they'll even pay you for growing your score. Credit Sesame? Wow. Maybe I can start growing my savings there. Get your free credit score today.
In the midst of shooting the 3rd season of his hit NBC sitcom Sanford and Son, comedian Redd Foxx walks off the set in January 1974 over a salary dispute.
When Redd Foxx made a threat, he usually stuck to it. And by the end of the 3rd season, he was determined that he wouldn't come back for a 4th season of Sanford and Son unless the producers met his demands.
5 months later, Redd Foxx and his co-star Demond Wilson are forced to come back to work.
Tandem Productions went to court, asking for the court to make a declaratory judgment to order Redd Foxx and Demond Wilson back to work. And they won.
He may have lost the lawsuit, but in the end, Fox gets exactly what he wants: more money. NBC agrees to $25,000 per episode for 24 episodes, which comes out to $600,000 for the season.
NBC, I think in 99% of the cases, on something like that, would say, get lost. We're not interested in working with you again. But Redd Foxx had so much clout because of his success and the ratings on the show that NBC wasn't going to do that.
By September 1974, Fox's return as the irascible Fred Sanford helps the series reclaim its 2nd place spot in the ratings behind All in the Family.
And so he brought about 24 million African American viewers to the audience. Plus, it was the #1 show those 6 years.
A newly single Fox continues to find ways to spend his increased riches. His car collection grows to include a silver Mercedes 450 SL, a Rolls-Royce Corniche, and a Panther, which is modeled after the original Jaguar SS100. He takes to wearing a huge pendant around his neck that spells out Fox in diamonds reportedly worth $100,000. In 1976, a few days after he turns 54, Fox marries his girlfriend Joy in Las Vegas.
Red's third wife, Joy Yoon Chin Chung, is a cocktail waitress, and they get married in Las Vegas. When he was asked how he met his bride, he said, "I opened my wallet, and there she was." It didn't really sound that Red was very excited about this relationship, and he should have signed a prenup.
In 1977, after 6 years on the air, Sanford and Son is canceled.
And the relationship with NBC ends. That doesn't end Red Fox's career. He's picked up immediately by ABC, and they give him a kind of really interesting deal. He has his own variety show. He's allowed to develop content.
Fox is the executive producer of the Red Fox Comedy Hour. In January 1977, Red and his wife appear on a Barbara Walters special to promote the show.
Red Fox did a famous interview with Barbara Walters. And in that interview, the public got to see how eccentric Red Fox really was and the lavish lifestyle he lived.
And it really revealed a lot about his life and his finances. There were lavish decorations, furniture specially picked by Red Fox himself, ceramic foxes around the house.
He had 16 dogs, multiple birds, a pond stocked with exotic fish, and many cars.
The Red Fox Comedy Hour premieres on ABC on September 15th, 1977, and is canceled after 18 episodes. ABC claims it's by mutual consent. The speculation is that Red Fox mismanaged the production finances.
It was a real disappointment to Red Fox because he was an executive producer on that show, and that meant something to him as well. He really did feel like he wanted to wield a lot of power in Hollywood that he just wasn't able to achieve.
The following year, Fox returns to what he loves best, doing stand-up, and is the first to do a special for a fledgling cable network at the time.
Let it be noted that Red Fox was one of the first people ever to do an HBO comedy special.
These were huge events. They were almost as big as prize fights.
And for the first time ever, he had full creative freedom in the sense that he didn't have to censor himself.
When it comes to his long career, Red Fox now has a number of firsts under his belt. But after 2 previous marriages, the third time appears also not to be the charm, when in 1979 his wife Joy files for divorce.
With the first divorce, Red Fox didn't have much money to fight over. With the second divorce, he had some more. By the time he goes through his third divorce, his soon-to-be ex-wife is asking for millions of dollars.
Joy is asking for a $5 million settlement and $20,000 a month in temporary alimony to live the lifestyle she has become accustomed to. But in 1981, Fox pays off Joy with a lump sum of $300,000 and keeps his houses in Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and St. Louis.
If he had a prenup in place, he could have saved himself a lot of time, money, and aggravation.
Over the next few years, Red Fox is plagued with a variety of business deals gone wrong, lawsuits, and another failed development deal with ABC. When he turns 60 in 1983, Fox declares bankruptcy. At the time, his debts include $1.6 million owed to the IRS, $800,000 owed to creditors, and $600,000 in alimony payments.
He wasn't just not careful with his finances. He was completely negligent with his finances.
But in 1989, he stars along with his protégés Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy in Harlem Nights.